We are live here at the Players Championship, and my, oh my, what a beautiful, beautiful day.
It sure is, man. It's absolutely incredible out here. Sun is shining, wind is blowing just a tiny, tiny bit at the right times, and a lot of people. It's packed. It's packed for a Tuesday.
Always packed for a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And when it comes to your Jacksonville Jaguars, their roster is not exactly packed, Taylor.
Yeah, we might need a little bit of help here filling up this roster. A lot of roster spots to fill, but a lot of time. I mean, I think that we kind of expected this when you're going into free agency with not a lot of resources. Then you kind of expect you're going to have to restructure and configure, and you may not be able to spend the way you quite want to. That doesn't mean you can't find value pieces to fill in what you need. I think the main conversation, obviously, and we talked a lot about Travis Etienne yesterday, but now a lot of Devin Lloyd, I'm sure, today. Those are two big pieces. It's got one of the guys that led your team in interceptions or tied for the lead in interceptions, and another guy who had a lot of touchdowns with 13 of them. And so the value of each of those guys and what they brought to defense and offense, you have to replace that in some way. How do you do that? That's what is to figure out now. And I feel like what you can say is if you trust this regime and James Gladstone and what he's been able to do and the experience he has with the Rams too, and what they've kind of had to build time and time again over the years of losing pieces, he has the experience of being able to do that with not many picks and not a lot of money in years. And so I think you just kind of had to put your trust into James Gladstone at that point.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, that's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
Until there's another
they get the
general
benefit.
manager, and hopefully that doesn't happen for a long time.
They get the benefit of the doubt. That doesn't mean you can't question it. I mean, look, when it came across the wire that Devin Lloyd was going for 15 a year, by the way, higher than Quay Walker, higher than N'Kobe Dean, right? So out of those kind
but
of
not the 20 million per year that we thought.
Right, that we thought. And actually not even the 18, 15. And I thought, man, because you're not paying for what he's done. You're paying for what you believe he can do. Now, in their defense, on third down, he's only out there like 50% of the time. If you're going to pay that big money, you got to be a 3-down backer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you got to have another role on third down, which is where I think they've missed, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think Devin Lloyd is one of the better rushers from the inside, from the linebacker position. He's one of the best bat linebackers. I don't know if they call it bat, but where they chip because of his length and because his quickness and all that. I just, look, I think I'm going to trust them because they deserve it. They get the benefit of the doubt. But I'm sitting there going, okay, for 15 a year, you couldn't have figured that out. What you're saying is maybe you don't see him as high value as everybody else. Maybe you're sitting there going, yeah, we like him, but we don't like him that much. We think between Gardeck, between Ventrell Miller, throw in Kaiser, maybe Abdullah, maybe somebody we bring in. Between that, we'll figure out how we replace Devin Lloyd. I think one of the guys, and he's already out there, but he plays Sam. I would maybe try Gardeck at will, because he's fast and he's not undersized. He's jacked, he's a big guy, but he's a little shorter, a little more compact. You can hide him with linemen. He's fast enough to play it. He can blitz. He can rush. We've seen it. He can cover. I think the guy could maybe have a role there. Ventrell Miller can play Will. Keep in mind, Foyer's your Mike, and then Lloyd was your Will, which seems weird because usually the bigger guy's the Mike, the smaller guy's the Will, and Foyer's not small. Don't get me wrong, but compare the two. So they're going to have to figure that out.
And by the way, for people who don't know, Mike is middle linebacker, Sam is strong side linebacker, and Will is weak side.
The weak side. And typically your weak side linebacker is covered up so you can use your speed and athleticism to get to the football. And typically you're a good cover guy. And you can blitz from the linebacker position. So, look, again, like I said with Etienne, is it disappointing he's not back? Yes. But when do we forget about him? When you win again. Yeah. When you score touchdowns again. When we forget, you might not forget about what he did for the team, but, if your running backs are doing great and they're scoring touchdowns, you let it go.
Honestly, by the time training camp rolls around, especially if they were to draft a linebacker and if they were to draft a running back, at that point in time, we're going to obviously compare them to what we've had, but we're also going to look to the future. And I think production-wise, I think it's easier to replace a guy like Devin Lloyd because of Foye Oluokun's football IQ and what plus Devin Lloyd really only had one great season. He's been graded high per PFF in prior years, but we all thought, well, he gets lost in coverage. That's why they didn't pick up his fifth-year option. To me, it's harder to replace the running back production because of how well Etienne fit in the offense, but I still believe that, yes, they can replace Etienne with another younger running back. And they can find a guy through the draft probably to replace Devin Lloyd if they don't like what they already have.
And I think too, you think back to the conversations we were having a year ago, and Devin Lloyd was almost not in the conversations. You were kind of like, okay, what do you get out of Devin Lloyd this year? Then you didn't see him get the 5th-year option, and everybody was like, well, that makes sense because you really haven't seen enough from Devin Lloyd. Then he had this year where obviously things kind of explode, and his everything with the interceptions, you saw him get better in coverage, all of the things, those boxes you wanted to start getting checked. But to me, I almost want to give a lot of credit to Coach Camp and what he brought out in Lloyd too. And I think that's a big thing. You go back to camp, and we are seeing a lot of mix. There was a lot of Devin Lloyd out there, but we were seeing Ventrell a lot out at camp too. And I remember the conversations of what is this linebacking room going to look like. And so I almost feel like if you have confidence in Coach Camp and what he was able to develop in a lot of these defensive players too, and coming back and after Ryan Nielsen feels like he just kind of tore everything to pieces, putting the guys back into the shape they need to be in for their positions, putting them back into where they played best when it comes to a Foye, when it comes to an Eric Armstead, and then getting what you just saw out of Devin Lloyd, then that also I feel like gives you confidence that he can do that with another, maybe a back that you've seen flashes of in the NFL but haven't seen the full value of, or a young guy that you get in the draft.
Yeah, listen.
It's a very deep linebacker draft.
You know how I feel about Devin in the pass coverage. I think he got more of a bad rap than what was real. I think physically he can handle it. I think in years past he did get confused, but then they simplified
we saw
it for him.
the hands
Yeah,
on the head sometimes.
But keep in mind, remember, I forget, second year or third year, remember he had the cast.
Yeah.
He dropped like 3 picks. I mean, the one thing about Devin Lloyd, he's always around the football. You can't, has he been beaten in coverage? Yeah, guess what? Everybody gets beaten in coverage here and again. I think he got better in coverage. Look, I'm not trying to defend like, hey, it was a bad move, because I'm going to trust the system. I'm going to trust what they're saying. I would have liked to seen him utilized a little bit more, in that rush game. Now, like I said, go back to Gardeck. We ripped off his stats yesterday. It limited time, and you saw how productive he is getting after the QB. So how do you replace Lloyd? Maybe with a Gardeck. You know what I mean? At least partially. But you have to figure out who's going to fill that void. Ventrell
they may
Miller,
love Ventrell.
In my opinion, Ventrell is good against the run. Especially when he can roam free and he's in space. He's good covering for the most part. I don't know if he's a great blitzer. I think Devin was a really good blitzer. I think, and I think Foye's a good blitzer too, for the record. So they're just going to have to figure that out. But if you're out there in nickel and you need a cover guy, well, Ventrell Miller can get the job done with Foye.
Yeah.
So you can fit. It's not at the end of the world. Oh, you missed him. I don't think you missed anything. I would have liked him back, especially at that number, because that number when I saw it this morning, I was like, wow, 15 a year. I was
came out last night around 10 o'clock.
Yeah, well,
of course you saw it this morning.
But yeah, I was like, wow, 15 a year. Well, good for Carolina for getting it done.
Yeah.
Maybe he overpriced himself, but in the defense, like, look at 54% on third down. You don't pay a guy $15 million a year even to take him off the field.
And we
you know
knew,
what I mean? You just don't.
We knew it was trending this way for a while, right? Like the way that Devin Lloyd had said, there's been no conversations with the Jaguars general manager or this regime, this franchise. So, and we also knew that they weren't going to pay Etienne what Etienne was going to garner on the free agent market. The obviously the great thing for them is they were able to find a way to come together and come to terms with Monteric Brown, Buster Brown, because that was a hole that they really had. I don't necessarily believe that they have a hole at running back or at linebacker, but I think they need to add to both of those.
So let me ask you guys this. So the tag for Lloyd was $27 million, roughly, right?
Because linebacker, unfortunately for the Jaguars and for other franchises, is associated with outside linebackers as well. So the guys that
edge.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically like a
outside
JJ,
linebacker.
JJ Watt.
Yeah.
How about
TJ Watt is
Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, what are they?
They would still same franchise tag, the same amount.
Because they love those position groups together.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though inside linebacker, outside
what a
linebacker.
big, that's $12 million difference.
Yeah.
That's what I said a couple weeks ago. I said there should be a difference in the franchise tag between inside linebackers and outside linebackers. Outside linebackers should be with the edges, the defensive ends.
If you run a
and inside linebackers,
and that's the problem though, because a lot of these depending on scheme, some of these guys have played outside and on 3-4s, 4-3s. So then they're like, well, at the last team I was on a 3-4, and on this one I was a 4-3, and you're trying to get that value.
Yeah.
What I will say is interesting, and we when you talk about Linderbaum and his contract, for example, because what another discrepancy in free agency is obviously what the tackles get compared to that interior. But we just saw Linderbaum make a lot of money over there with the Raiders. And so I wonder if we start seeing that change a little bit with, you saw already the value of like left tackle and right tackle start to come merge a little bit closer. Yeah. And now you're seeing
Taylor.
yeah. And then I think also just the versatility you're seeing of a lot of offensive linemen coming out of college now, where like a Cole Van Landen, for example, can play all over the place. So can you really say your left tackle or right tackle, whatever the case may be? Yeah. But the interior guys, do we start to see that value go up with the you don't have these just like big, bulky interior defensive linemen anymore. You have the fast, strong, pass rushing interior defensive linemen. So you have to maybe value those interior offensive linemen.
And Linderbaum, by the way, 3 years, $81 million. That included $60 million. So the highest paid interior offensive
guaranteed
lineman
60?
in NFL history. Guaranteed
Raiders 60. And Titans spent over $280 million.
When you've got it, when you've got it and your team is terrible.
Raiders still have 95.
Yeah.
To play with.
That's
Tom Brady's just licking his
Anyway, I was going to go back to, so if you're looking at it from the league perspective, like, okay, so if my tag's at 27, and that for N'Kobe and Quay, they were lower than 15 million a year. They were like 14 and 13, lower than Devin Lloyd. You got to fix that, because think about it. Teams are like, well, I'm not paying your tag.
Yeah.
Right? And then you try to work out a deal, and he said, and I know what these guys are thinking, because money's been thrown around like crazy. For some reason, that off-ball backer, still phenomenal money, don't get me wrong, but it's not like what they probably all thought. They probably all thought height and teens, maybe 20,
none of them
21.
set the record for the highest paid linebacker, where we saw records set for other positions to become the highest paid in NFL history. And we did see that both Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne are sad that they will no longer be together. They posted some emotions on
That's a lot of years together.
Consume.
9 seasons. I mean, imagine.
They consume.
We haven't
go to Bahamas in the off season.
Yeah, right. It'll be fine.
We haven't quite been doing this show a year, right? And imagine 8 years from now, if one of us were to leave, right? Like after 9 years of doing this together, it would be
You're not 63 for me.
That is young,
my friend. I can't think that far.
No, you don't have to worry about that.
I'll still be 35. So.
The Jaguars, by the way, created about $4 million in cap room after they restructured Robert Hainsey, the center, this morning. And so in the ballpark of a few $1 million now under the salary cap. So that at least is good news, but they still got to work towards things, and they did cut Johnny Munt. We'll talk about Greg Newsome on the other side. He has a new team, so we will do that. We are live here at Trucks on 10, live from the Players' Championship. The 2026 Military Appreciation Day comes up in just a little bit, and as we can overlook the clubhouse from where we are with all the military flags up there, it's absolutely beautiful. And then I walked over to 17, and you can see the stage is already set up.
Yeah, I walked right by it.
Looks amazing. So certainly come on out here to the Players' Championship. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels.
From the Greenlaw Group Studios. Feel the weight of tradition in every swing. 1010XL is your radio home for the Players' Championship, with live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by Shillington Creek Pest Control,
Jack's Outdoor Solutions,
and Firehouse Subs.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world #1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Backed by Morgan & Morgan. For the people. Dial pound law.
Florida's sun and storms means your roof has probably seen better days. If you're wondering about its condition, visit EndlessSummerRoofing.com to schedule a free, no-pressure inspection. Endless Summer Roofing, protecting your home from Florida's endless summers.
Find the Celt in you. March 14 and 15 at the St. Augustine Celtic Music and Heritage Festival with Celtic bands, Highland Games, St. Patrick's Parade and more. CelticStAugustine.com. Sponsored by St. John's County TDC.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, congratulating this week's high school scholar athlete,
Kayla Skinner, senior track and field athlete at Mandarin High. She's a member of the National Honor Society and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Kayla will attend Harvard University.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
All right, Jackson, let's talk about it. Spring cleaning feels great until your drains remind you what they've been holding on to all winter. If your sink's burping, your shower's backing up, or your toilet's hesitating like it's reading a blitz, it's time to call in the pros. Call Duck Duck Rooter. During their spring drain cleaning promotion, get your drains cleaned plus a free camera inspection for just $129. Must have outside clean out, honest pricing, proven experience, no fourth quarter surprises. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Have you been thinking about selling your home and you haven't pulled the trigger? Let me tell you about Chad and Sandy and the experts that will help you make that decision. Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building, so now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Need to sell now, need to sell fast, need max price. Check, check, check. Chad and Sandy have the science behind it. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jonathan writes from Mount Pleasant. The only thing standing between me and my dream of hitting the road in my RV was selling my Mount Pleasant home. After hearing Chad and Sandy on the radio, I gave them a call. The results were unreal. In just 3 days, I had multiple offers at full asking price. So can you. Call the local experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting! Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl. I'm Lauren Brooks, live here at the beautiful Trucks on 10. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters, making it all happen. We're going to talk some Players Championship, but first, Greg Newsome, Jaguars cornerback, found a new home with the Giants for 1 year, $10 million. I think it was very reminiscent to me of the De'Ami Brown contract just because it's 1 year at that amount. But I am a little surprised that the Giants paid him that much.
I mean, what the bump did he show on film where you're like, I got to have this guy. Let's give him a shot for $10 million. I mean, geez, what a nice gig. 1 year, $10 million and getting toasted at the year before. Toasted. I mean, look, no disrespect to the kid, but man, he did not perform well. No. Even in the, from the very beginning, just seemed like he was out of position, out of sync. It didn't work. I don't know. Maybe the Giants feel like the system they're going to run, fits him better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, man, but good for him. But 1 year, $10 million. It's another De'Ami Brown. It's another Ingram. Remember, Ingram got that a few years ago. The tight end.
Ingram did, and it worked great for him because the Jaguars benefited from his services that season for sure.
Yeah, and I think that, that's free agency for you in the sense of most teams that if you're paying somebody that you need, if you need that position, you usually are kind of overpaying for, and that's what the Jags did last year with De'Ami Brown. And I was questioning it from the beginning. I think probably the main difference of that is Diami was coming off of a playoff that he had where you're like, whoa, like this kid just really performed in the postseason and showed you a little bit of what that obviously didn't transfer to the season very well. But Greg Newsome, I just feel like you haven't seen anything this year. He gets traded mid-season, and so you already are the team he was on before in Cleveland didn't really see a ton of value because they just straight up traded corner for corner with that. And then Greg Newsome comes and it's fine. You have moments where it's like, all right, it's fine, but never anything where you feel like it's worth $10 million. But then that 1 year kind of is, for them, it looks like it's more so, here's your $10 million. We need you. And like, come prove yourself a little bit and we'll see what this looks like at the end.
It's just amazing the market is 10
to
try a guy out. But it's been that way for a few years.
Teams at this point in time are spending, obviously, in free agency always above what they would if they were just going to draft players. By the way, now after the comp picks were announced, we know that the Jaguars are picking obviously the second round pick 56. That didn't change, and then in the third round picks 81, 88, 100, and then in the fourth round pick 124. 2 picks in the fifth round, 164, 166. A 6th rounder that'll be 203, and then 3 picks in the 7th round, 233, 240, and 245.
Good.
What that says to me is James Gladstone has a lot of ammunition to move around.
Yeah, well, with the later round picks, they're nice to throw in as a little icing on the cake. Hey, I'll throw in a 6, I'll throw in a 7. That's why you keep those, right?
Yeah. But they're not going to. Quentin Allen was a 7th round pick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well,
so you can obviously get good players.
Either find the gem or you throw those picks into a package that gets you what you're looking for. So they're always good to have. I'd rather have the 5th, 4th, the 3rds, and 2nds.
You'd rather,
but that's okay.
If he needs to package up, if they like a player and they certainly want to move up, by all means, because
a chance.
This roster is going to be difficult to make.
Yeah, what I don't like, and we saw this a few years ago here, which this was obviously with Trent Baalke, but 13 picks and picking 13 players, because you go back to that draft and it wasn't very good. Most of the times, if you're having to pick a lot of guys in the 6th and 7th round, yes, you can hit on one every now and then, but the chance of that being a starter that's going to contribute right away is not super likely most of the time. So I do like, in the sense of kind of accumulating some of those and packaging and moving up to the 4th and 5th. I do think this draft is perfect for that time frame. We talk about a lot when the top of it is not super heavy. If you're picking in like the late 1st, early 2nd, there's a lot of value there. And then they say late 3rd and 4th, there's a ton of guys that you get, when it comes to positional need and value and best player available in that spot, they think is more worth it this year than the 1st round, honestly. But then it drops off drastically in the 6th and 7th round.
How many of them are 25 and 26 years old when they get drafted?
I know. How many more are we going to see of those?
Seriously. By the way, Romeo Doubs is going to get a deal with the Patriots, 4 years, $70 million. So the reason, obviously, I mentioned that, Taylor, is the
4
Bears
years,
fan.
70?
4 years, $70 million for Romeo Doubs. But I feel like Bears fans are glad to see him leave the Packers.
Yeah. I'll be honest, Romeo Doubs wasn't ever somebody that worried me.
Okay.
The Packers had the last few years, the Packers just had a bunch of guys, in my opinion. And it kind of felt like because they had 4 different wide receivers that you could get the ball to, that's what made it efficient, because you never really knew where they were going to go to the ball. I mean, every month somebody different, a different wide receiver led in receiving yards or, catches or whatever the case may be. It was very similar to that. And so it's hard to game plan around that, but it wasn't like you were going into the game like, oh, no, you really got to, worry about Romeo Doubs. It never felt like that. But I will say, I feel like it's a good fit for the Patriots and kind of how their offensive scheme works. And I do think that maybe it'll help him a little bit because he's not battling with, all of the other weapons that Green Bay. And then they added Matthew Golden last year too. So then there was another guy in the mix of it. And so I do think that maybe it's for him good value because he's going to a place where he can try and be the guy rather than being the second, third guy.
And that was, I think, one of the issues with the Patriots, obviously, in the Super Bowl is they didn't have the type of weapons that the Seahawks did. By the way, a quarterback on the move, Geno Smith, is being traded to the Jets. The Raiders are trading.
Going back.
Yep. Wow. The Raiders are trading him back to New York. They're giving the Jets a 2026 7th round pick and Geno Smith.
You need those picks.
In exchange for a 2026 6th
Well, the Jets need all they can get.
The Jets,
he can settle it down for a year or two, maybe.
Potentially.
He's not going to carry your offense, but he's good enough to run your offense.
Are you a little I feel like it almost would have been smarter of them to go with like Kyler Murray, because Kyler's value this year is so low. Like the way that they would have to be able to, they would pay Kyler this year because of the contract structuring of what the Cardinals have to pay. I think you only have, whoever gets Kyler only has to pay him like $5 million this year.
This year, yeah. And then next year.
But you don't have to. It'd be you would decide if you were keeping
or
him.
keep him or whatnot.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do at quarterback, like long term.
Yeah.
I just think with Kyler. I mean, look, I'm sure he's grown up. I'm sure he's gotten mature, but, it still sticks in your craw that they had to put like a homework clause in his contract.
And then they took it out because it was so embarrassing.
I mean, come on, man. You're the franchise QB. You don't know by now you really got to study. He's ultra talented.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's a video game. I mean, he is. The way he runs around, nobody can barely catch him. He's got a rocket for an arm. He can hold on to that football, no problem. But can he play within your system and run it efficiently?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would, look, if I'm a team needing a QB, I would try to, grab Kirk Cousins maybe. You know what I mean? He's a vet. You know he can get it done. He can wow you at times, run it efficient. He's tough as nails. You know what I mean? Smart.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I really need a QB, I think
He's had
Kirk
a lot of injuries over the last few years, but as far as a short-term solution, certainly that would be a possibility.
And Kirk always gets that guaranteed money too, so
well,
his family is
be a quarterback out there, kids. Be a quarterback.
Yeah.
Be an NFL player in general at this
no
point in
doubt.
time. By the way, the Texans, as free agency continues, illegal tampering, Texans are signing Colts offensive lineman Braden Smith, a 2-year deal worth up to $25 million with $13.5 million guaranteed. You don't often see a player go from, it does happen, but you don't often see a player go from one like AFC South team to another or within the division across.
He's a good lineman.
Yeah.
He's one of the Colts' better linemen. So, yeah, you saw that with Arden Key, right? Arden Key's taking a trip around the entire division.
Yeah.
He gets a piece of everybody. But, yeah, listen, Texas been on the move. If they beef up that line and they get a running game, I mean, look, everyone's like, they still won 12 games. That's like really, really hard to do. And
with an offense that was liability at a certain point.
I don't know how much the defense scored.
Yeah.
Were they a scoring? I know they were a great defense, and they didn't allow scoring. But were they the ones that gave you 7 points a game? I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't know. To me, it's going to come down to those two. But again, you never know in this business. We've seen the 180 flip. You saw it in New England, saw it here in Jacksonville. It's not like something new. You could take a bad team and in 1 year flip it around.
Yeah.
It's just it's great in a way. You know what I mean? I think you just got.
And then it can go the other way.
Exactly. It can
Really
blow up
quickly.
in your face.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, and that's what I think the division is very unpredictable, it feels like right now, just because, and this point it should be, because there's still, most teams are trying to say, okay, well, this is what happened this last season. This is what our biggest needs were. This is where we need to do the most work. And this is the time of year where you're doing a lot of that. And unfortunately for the Jags, you just don't have the resources to do that while you're seeing Tennessee have a lot of money. The Colts don't have any money either. So it's not like they're able to go figure things out. And they're trying to see what they're going to do with Daniel Jones and how much they're going to pay him. So that's a whole other world that they're having to deal with. But yeah, I think the Texans feel like their defense is really good and will continue to be really good. And so they're just like, hey, well, now we got David Montgomery. Let's fix this line a little bit and see what this offense can turn into, because you have the weapons. You feel like this quarterback is a prove it year, I feel like, for CJ Stroud. Yeah. But at the same time, you've seen it in flashes, obviously, that he can still be efficient. You just need a little bit of
He wasn't awful.
No, he wasn't.
Just wasn't great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're
he was bad
great.
in the biggest moments.
Yeah.
That's
for sure.
Obviously the issue is that you always remember what happened most recently. And for him throwing those 4 interceptions, that's what you're going to take into, at least we are.
And especially because they lost that.
Let me ask you this, with what the Jags have today and what the Texans have today, who gets the nod to
win the division?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty tight to me.
I think Vegas would tell you right now that it's very neck and neck, because they're always going to look to the quarterback. That's how you establish everything, right?
Yep.
And so I think right now, based off of Trevor Lawrence's season, the fact that he was one of the 5 MVP finalists, I feel like it would be slightly for the Jaguars because of the head-to-head comparison.
But you lose ETN. Who knows if you have the replay? You know what I mean? They're adding,
which
we're
obviously
depleting.
Right. Vegas
feels
will of course come out with this type of information after free agency and then after the draft.
Of course.
Yeah.
And we want the Houston Texans to be the favorite, because we like that'll give Liam that little push, to tell his team, see, the disrespect is still here.
And there's no first round pick for the Jags. So of course, nationally, they're not going to be talked about as much between now and the draft either, because yes, Travis Hunter will be mentioned, but in more of a negative light than in a positive light at this point in time.
Yeah, and that's what I do think. I mean, the Texans won a playoff game, so that's going to be the narrative. Is the Texans did win a playoff game. The Jags couldn't win their playoff game, and so that's going to be the momentum shifting into this next year, and that's fine. Like I feel like, to your point, Tommy, the team has played better when they're having, when they have that
chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, that chip on their shoulder. And Liam said this year when they play angry. And so if you're coming into this season with other people saying you're not good enough, then that's when we've seen them, at least this squad, play their best football.
Yeah. Yeah, no question about it. It's going to be an exciting year. They're going to add. They still got time to do some stuff. I hope they do make a big splash. But if they don't, we'll roll with who we have. They get the benefit of the doubt. Of course, everyone's got to, play their game and play it well. I tell you that the whole first, I used to think like, man, if you don't have a first rounder, you're screwed. But the more you think about it, the more that LA doesn't need. And like, it's almost like, okay, if you don't have a top 10 pick, or top 15. What do you need a first-round pick for?
Yeah.
I mean, because think about it. First-rounders are what? The guys that test out the best.
Right.
You may have a second-rounder that's just as good as a football player, but he didn't run a 4 whatever. He didn't jump the height you got to jump. Maybe his arms are a little shorter, and you go in the second round, but he's just as good as a football player. And think about it. No one's bigger than the team unless it's a QB and you find a gem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you look at the Rams. We said it yesterday. Since 2017, one first-round pick. One. Yeah. That's how many years? 9 years?
Yeah.
They had Jared Verse. And you're like, well, how do they do it? Well, they got the QB, so that you see that. But I think that the other theory is, well, what do we need? We don't, unless we're top 5, which we're going to need somebody that impactful. I don't need a first-round pick. Let me jack up second-rounders and third-rounders and fourth-rounders. And then you got to find the gems in the 5th and the 6th and the 7th. You know what I mean? If you have those picks.
If you're a good general manager, that's what you do. All right, let's get it to Players Championship. Miranda Rossum from the PGA Tour is going to join us next, so don't go anywhere. We are live here at Trucks on 10. Players Championship is here. Practice round is underway. It's 10 to next on 92.5 FM.
From the Clean Law Group Studios.
Helmets and heels.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
You've heard of spring cleaning, but there's something even better. Spring cleaning and organizing. This is Lauren Brooks, and I just love our organized closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any space and budget. Make an appointment to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com today.
This is Paige, owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. People ask me all the time what's healthy, and that's hard because healthy is different from losing weight. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. There are a lot of foods out there that are healthy foods, but they're not going to support your weight loss. And that's what we're here to help with. We're here to help you get in the healthy foods that are going to help you lose weight. The Awaken 180 difference is our coaches. It's our team. You can find things online about weight loss, but you try them yourself and they just don't work. And that's because everyone is different. And that's what our coaches are so skilled at helping you figure out.
Thanks, Paige. Hacker here. Figuring it out, that's what I needed. And the reason I chose Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Not a med, not a diet plan. I wanted a solution. Do what I did and make a 180 with your health and weight. Schedule your Awaken 180 consultation today. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday, protected by Morgan & Morgan.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets. Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit hollispools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for big #1 Duval Ford. It's truck time in Jacksonville, and all month long you can drive home a brand new 2025 F-150 with no money down, no payments for 90 days, and 0% interest for 60 months. That's right, a new F-150 with 0 down and 0% for 60 months. See all the deals now at DuvalFord.com, or just stop by big #1 Duval Ford, 1616 Cassett Avenue today. It's truck time at big #1 Duval Ford.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Miranda Rossum is here from the Players Championship PGA
song.
Tour Public Relations. This is your favorite song?
From Luda, yeah.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah, it goes, hit him with a right hook, hit him with a jab, hit him with an uppercut, kicked him in his ass. It's the best 4 lines of a song. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
All right. Well, certainly military appreciation will get underway right around 4:30,
right.
and then Ludacris will take the stage. As
G-rated.
Is
G-rated.
here. Yes, family friendly today.
Sing
Miranda,
along.
How is 2026 Players Championship going so far?
It's going so well. I'm keep waiting for something to happen because it's been like almost too good. Like the weather could not be better. I mean, it is a little hot actually, but
it's only because we're not acclimated to it.
Correct.
Right.
It's March. Like this would be beautiful for July. So
Absolutely.
It's been awesome. There's been a lot of fans through the gates. Like food's been great. I had some bagels this morning. Like we're rocking. It's good.
Yeah, it's a great crowd. I mean, I didn't know what to expect I've been to the military appreciation, but this early, even coming in, A1A was packed all the way down. It was easy. It wasn't like it took a long time, but it's great to see this many people out on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I think that the week is just going to keep going up from here.
Totally.
So get ready.
Absolutely. Who other than Luda, who are you interested in watching?
The actual
this
golfers?
week? Yeah. Which, give me, I was trying to pick, like Fleetwood, Fowler. Can he do something? Who's
Ricky
couple
Fowler?
guy? Yeah, Ricky
2015
Fowler.
winner of the Players Championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, he obviously has a history of success here at TPC Sawgrass, probably one of the most epic finishes in tournament history. So, I think he's been playing really good golf lately.
Yep.
Someone I'm excited to watch, too, Jake Knapp has had a sneaky good season, like a lot of backdoor top 10 finishes. So, I feel like we could see some movement there.
Yep.
I love watching Chris Gotterup. He's been so fun to watch this year. He's already won twice, and I think that he's ready to punch in a third and maybe here at TPC Sawgrass.
Jake Knapp is amongst the top 15 from Rob Bolton's power rankings.
Okay. Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's golf. So he has climbed into that for sure. His #1 would be Colin Morikawa.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that too. He's been playing awesome, and he is such a great ball striker. So I think.
And just won for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. It's amazing watching. I was just standing on 16 watching them tee off, and effortless. It's just swing.
These guys are
way
good.
out there.
These
You know
guys
what I mean?
are good. I wonder
It's
who came
awesome.
up with that originally. By the way, we have grouping times for tomorrow for Thursday morning.
Okay.
Colin Morikawa will be teeing off with Ludwig Aubert and Siwoo Kim at 8:40. So you better get here early Thursday morning if you want to see those guys tee off. If you're wondering about Taylor's favorite golfer, Victor Hovland, he tees off with Russell Henley and Robert McIntyre 9:04 on Thursday. So little Duval is
for
right.
the hometown guy at 9:04 tee time. That's
Got
perfect.
that right. Rory McIlroy, assuming that he'll be fine. He'll be joined by Xander Schauffele and Hideki Matsuyama. That one is 1:42 p.m. on Thursday. And then Scotty Scheffler will play alongside your guy, Tommy Fleetwood, and Justin Thomas. They tee off Thursday morning at 8:52 on the 10 tee.
Right here.
Grouping.
Yes.
Right in front of
and
us.
I forgot to say, Colin tees off Morikawa, and the other two tee off also on the 10 tee on Thursday morning at 8:40.
So you guys have a front row view to all
we
the
sure
action.
do. It's going to be, I think, probably one of the busiest tournaments you've ever had. I heard Lee Smith on this morning with the drill, and he said we've never had a Friday sellout for the players, but we are approaching it at this point
That's
in time.
correct. I think they don't want to, because we haven't tracked it, as well in the past, but that we've sold more tickets than ever before. We're comfortable saying that.
Okay.
I saw where
that's pretty awesome.
The total purse is 25 mil. The winner gets 4 and a hook.
Yep.
I remember when it was 1.4. That was a massive amount of money, and man,
Because the
it's
largest
grown.
purse in golf.
Right, exactly. It's tremendous how much it's
keeps
grown.
going up, I
It
feel.
does. It's unbelievable.
Those TV ratings are amazing. For people who haven't been out to the course yet this year that are listening to us, what would you say some of the places to go that, not necessarily that have changed, because not a lot needs to change out here, but just some of the places that people should go? Obviously, Trucks on 10.
Yeah, Trucks on 10 is cool. This is the first time I've seen the full setup, show ready. That Cutwater bar is awesome.
Yeah, little rooftop.
Yeah. So I would definitely check that out. We also have a really cool new fan zone just over yonder called Palm Valley
Over
View.
yonder.
Over yonder.
Where would that be?
Woof. Yeah.
Over there.
It's been a long day.
And it's only 240.
Yeah, right.
And that has Faye. They're giving out Greek yogurt samples.
Okay.
Supergoop is also giving out samples,
Nice.
which you're going to need in this heat.
Yeah,
I
Supergoop
actually
is a
had to-
sunscreen.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Got to goop up. And then also we have Zyrtec doing a putt challenge over there. So
Very
it's
cool.
fun.
Zyrtec, Taylor's going to need that.
Yeah.
She's had some allergy
There he
issues
is.
today. We have a celebrity in the mix.
Yep, my man.
Jamaica is the
How are
celebrity.
ya? Miranda, what time does Luda
Andy
go on
T.
tonight?
He's going on at 5, but
5 p.m., okay.
if you want to see a jet flyover,
Yeah.
potentially a tear-jerking surprise,
That's right.
4:30. Be
4:30,
there.
4:30. Be inside.
And it's at 17. So
Yep.
if you if you know anything about this golf course, you know 17. You
Oh,
know the
yeah.
iconics, the island green. And so the setup for the concert is always just amazing. And usually, yes, it's country. I'm so excited this year that we're going to bring a little hip hop to the Players
Oh,
Championship
yeah.
in Ponte Vedra
Big
Beach.
time.
I'm excited. I think everyone else is excited. Like we
yeah.
were talking about, people are clamoring to get there early. People are lining up already. I saw on 17, it's like Times Square on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Like they're getting their real estate, so
Which is
it'll be
smart
great.
because I mean it's
Yeah.
so great. You bring your chair out and you can hang out
out all
there,
day
yeah,
long.
and then walk around. Like we said, there's food everywhere. There's
Yeah.
drinks everywhere.
Do we know what the flyover is? Do we know?
Yep. So it's F-18s.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
And then a little insider information. It's looking like we're potentially going to have a second flyover on Saturday.
Oh, all right.
With some of our friends from the U.S. Navy.
Okay.
And, I
What-
might be a little biased, but I'm really excited about that
What
one.
That's so
time will
cool.
that one be?
yeah.
It'll be in the afternoon, so still working out all the details, and we're really excited about that. Like, got to keep making it better year
That's
after
right.
year. So we normally do one flyover, we're going to be 2, and maybe
Every day.
every day, lock it in.
I'd be fine with that.
I mean, it makes sense. Jacksonville's got
Yeah.
the 3rd largest military population in
Absolutely.
the country, so we want to honor them and show off all their great work too.
Yeah. No
yeah,
doubt.
Plus
I
it's
mean, I
cool.
think we all know freedom isn't free, and
Yeah.
so we do
No.
want to pay homage to all of those who serve
That's
and
right.
sacrifice. So we
That's
get to
right.
do stuff like this. All right, anything last minute that people need to know about?
Download your tickets in advance
Okay.
on the wallet. I think
Yeah.
Taylor's been, just because you never know what's going on. So make sure that your tickets are downloaded in your wallet. Download the PGA Tour app in advance as well too.
Okay.
It's got a
Yeah.
really good smart map for you.
The smart
on there.
map is so cool.
It's
I was
so
looking at that
good.
earlier
Yeah.
today. It literally will tell you where golfers are on the golf course, how to get there for people who, may not be as familiar with the course.
It'll be like 300 feet, turn left, like it is like Siri
it's
telling
amazing.
you. It's awesome. So that's really good. So I tell everyone to do that, and then I just tell everyone to go on our website and just like review the bag policy and wear comfortable shoes, and then also hydrate and just be prepared for a good time.
That's right. It is a great time. Beautiful time out here.
Absolutely. Some notable names that are not playing: Tiger Woods, who's eligible, but he is not playing.
Not eligible anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
I thought I read that he could if he wanted to.
I think that was JT. Maybe he was like facetiously like, if he wanted to, he could. But his last year of eligibility was actually last year. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's how hard it is to play.
Exactly. It's the toughest field in golf, hardest field. Patrick Reed is still suspended. He has 5 more months of suspension from LIV. Will Zalatoris cannot play due to injury.
Yep.
Billy Horschel is an alternate down the alternates list, but not quite there yet. And then Matt Kuchar, I was so sad to see he lost full PGA Tour status last year.
Really?
So he was not a former champion from 2012, obviously.
He used to be like the darling of
and everybody would yell Cooch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it's obviously not about who's not playing; it's about who is.
Yeah,
playing.
I think that just shows the strength of the field. Some of these other like majors, even they'll have people taking up spots in the field that aren't necessarily in contention.
Right.
You know that you're watching the 123 best golfers in the world when you're here, so it's awesome.
Yeah, totally.
For sure. Well, it's absolutely gorgeous. Thanks for having us here at Trucks on 10, and I'm sure we'll bother you again later this week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Miranda. We'll be back with more on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Green Law Group Studios.
No static ever. Download the free 1010XL app for Apple and Android devices and take us with you wherever you go. 1010XL.
Ahead, we build platforms for digital business. We help create your platform for digital business by weaving together advances in cloud infrastructure, intelligent operations, and modern applications. Digital business is comprised of 5 pillars. We call them imperatives because they're a must-have, not a nice-to-have. We enterprise cloud, integrated security, scaled DevOps, intelligent operations, and relentless automation. Need help with digital transformation? Ahead. Learn, grow, achieve.
Hey, I know how awful it is to get injured, especially if it's because of someone's negligence. Hey, Tommy Mack here. If you get injured out there, there's only one number to call. It's Pound Law. That's all. Slip and fall, car wreck, wrongful death, it doesn't matter. Morgan & Morgan handles it all. The largest in the country. 100 offices, 1,000 attorneys, $30 billion recovered, and that's the kind of team that I want representing me. If you get hurt out there from someone else's wrongdoing, check out Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday
is served by
Morgan & Morgan.
Leon Serza here, your lemon pepper guy. You know Wingstop always delivers, and I'm not talking about their cook-to-order, hand-sauced and tossed chicken sandwich in your choice of 12 mouth-watering flavors. I'm not talking about the house-made ranch, so good nobody will blame you if you double dip. I'm talking about Wingstop that delivers straight to your door, and did you know they're open until 1 a.m.? So visit wingstop.com or use the app to get flavors delivered right to your door, late night, only at Wingstop.
Can't stop. Wingstop. What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia. AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care.
Renewal by Andersen is kicking off their 31-day spring savings event. For a limited time, buy 2 replacement windows or doors and get the third 60% off. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Our acclaimed impact windows are built for Florida, helping reduce energy costs and keeping your home comfortable all year long. Offer ends March 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License CGC 1527613. Renewal by Andersen, where comfort meets savings.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
There's no doubt that we were in good hands when our son's shoulder and hip issues were diagnosed quickly by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. No matter what your orthopedic issue is, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take a look. You'll be glad you did.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
So glad I found you, so glad that you existed.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, Lauren Brooks here with you. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters as we are marching through this Tuesday afternoon here at Trucks on 10. And you walked over to 16, I heard you say.
I did.
That's where I walked over to as well. I love 16 because it overlooks 17.
Yeah.
And there's always a little bit more shade on 16 than there is on 17, unless you're in a chalet, of course.
That's par 5's unbelievable. And,
Yeah.
you know, they're hitting it from the back. And they're just stroking it like it's nothing. I mean, that's why I don't play golf, because I get too aggravated. It's not good for my mental health. I don't swing like that, but they are fun to watch. There's no question about it. Great to have Miranda on, man. She's got a job, I tell you.
Yeah.
Busy girl.
You
She's
got that
a
right.
lot happening.
Miranda does, I think a lot more than just public relations.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
certainly everybody that works at the tour this time of year, or once this week hits, you're going in a million different directions.
Oh,
Imagine just us,
Right.
like on a normal game day week, people asking you for different things.
Yeah.
Now, times that by 100, like tickets and whatnot, times that by 100 for them this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Parking, tickets, bag
Everything.
tags for
Yeah.
media that doesn't know where their shuttle's supposed to be.
Yeah.
People that don't read their emails.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we all deal with that on a daily basis of regular life, but imagine,
Yeah.
like I said, so many different things that they have to figure out. But also, they want the experience to be top notch for every single fan, even if the fan just has the general admission pass. It's
Yeah.
not called general admission, grounds pass. Even if it's just that, right? They want everyone to
doubt.
have a great experience.
Yeah, it used to be, remember the clubs? You have to get in this one. It's
Correct,
such
yeah.
a pain in the butt to try to get
The benefactor.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's like you got something for everybody. You just walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can obviously upgrade to like the deck and things like that now, which are great. But if you don't want to, there's plenty of areas where you can still have just as great of a time.
That's
We are
right.
right here, obviously, by the trucks on 10, which is fantastic. There's multiple little food trucks in there. There's the Ultra in the beginning where you could get beer and seltzers, cut waters right there, so you can get some alcohol if you want to. But then there's a lot of areas like that. There's by the pro shop is you have like the kind of little loungy area where there's the big screens and you can watch golf and just hang out.
It's a beautiful courtyard right there.
It
Yeah,
is. And those are the type of things you get all over the course, which is cool because I know some people come out here and they're very invested in the golf, and that's great. You can walk around and follow your favorite golfer. You can sit at a hole, whatever you like to do. But if that's not, you still have so much to experience here, and that's not even mentioning wine and dine on 9 and all of those things. If you're a wino,
I haven't been there yet.
I love the one spot, the court. You go down by 17, and then you can stand at the end. You can see 16's green, 17's shot, and then 18's tee shot. You can literally just go back and forth watching these guys. It's such a
18's where I always look for the alligator.
yeah.
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 that pond there. Since we mentioned tickets, we may as well give away some
Let's
tickets.
do it.
We have a pair of tickets to see Theo Von. That's right, the comedian Theo Von.
Yeah.
Those are highly sought after tickets at the Florida Theater this Friday or Saturday. This is your last chance to get tickets, whether it be from us or you can get them online, theovon.com. Call number 4, 641-1010. Call number 4, and you are going to see Theo Von. I feel like he has been on like a rocket ascension. No one really had heard of him a few years ago, and now everyone knows who he is in that mullet.
It's funny because I learned the last couple years I've really started watching more because obviously he has the podcast now. So once they have the podcast, you have more access and you'll get the clips and all of that stuff. And then from there you start watching more. But he started on Road Rules. Did you remember that Real World Road Rules back in the day? So he was on Road Rules back in the day.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Real Rule. I can't. Never mind.
Don't ask me to do it.
Real World Road
You know, you guys know what I mean. But he was on that, and somebody else told me that. They're like, and if you go back and you watch clips, like even then, everyone thought he was kind of a weirdo, but looking back, it's like, oh, he was just funny, and people didn't like get his humor at that time because you go watch it, like go back and watch clips, and you're like, this is a very interesting man, and now you're like, oh, he's a comedian, like it all makes sense now.
Yeah, it's like Joe Rogan was Fear Factor. Remember, he was a host of Fear Factor.
Yeah,
like these guys have been working and working and working and working, and then they make their mark, man. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I still get Joe Rogan and Dana White mixed up all the time, like all the time.
One is a lot wealthier than the other.
Yeah, but they both do UFC stuff too, and that really throws me off.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure Joe Rogan also has a lot of money. I just know Dana White
has a lot of money.
UFC and other things
Bought
as well.
them for $2 million.
Yeah.
UFC bought it for $2 million with him and his 2 partners.
What's it worth now, do you think?
Billions.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They're unbelievable.
This is like our conversation about the Jags when they were bought to now.
Yeah,
the progression of what things are worth now.
UFC moving to Paramount. I don't know exactly how much it's worth, but it says with a 7-year, $7.7 billion deal. That was a year ago. So,
well, that's a good investment there.
Good return on the investment, I think.
Got that right. All right. So we briefly in our text chain yesterday said we were going to make some golf picks. So we'll do that obviously tomorrow, leading into the tournament that will begin in earnest on Thursday.
Cool.
But we need to discuss how we're doing
the parameters.
Yes, the parameters of the golf picks. So Tom had an idea of an elite golfer,
like a heavyweight, like
an average golfer, and a golfer no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
So we need to
average, let's or what average is.
Right.
And I don't mean I just mean like maybe not like an obscure kind of guy. You kind of know him, but you've heard of him, and maybe he's won some. Now, it's not for the golf aficionados, right? Because I could say
there's ones you can name immediately, like a Rory McIlroy and obviously Chef.
Right.
Like not
those
that
are the big
high
weights. Those
top.
are the heavyweights. But like Rose, who is a really good golfer, and but he's kind of like you could pick him. You know what I mean? That kind of. Get me? No.
Yeah. Well, we'll end up picking.
You're
the
not
one...
saying anything, LB.
We'll end up picking the golfer that
you're just nodding your head like I don't know. Like,
I get what you're saying. There's tiers.
Where would you put
there's elite, there's good, and then you have ones that maybe you aren't as familiar with.
Tom determining who's in the middle category?
So we're all probably will have a different indication. But what I will say is we'll probably end up picking the golfer that we haven't heard of, and he'll win.
Yeah, right.
Like our country singer that has won multiple NASCAR races.
Not JJ. Tyler
Reddick. Yeah.
I always say JJ.
Tyler Reddick.
Yeah. It is interesting. Rory McIlroy has withdrawn now just his second time when he withdrew last week at Bay Hill. That was just his second withdrawal in 276 starts on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, the back
He's only withdrawn twice. Yeah. So that is certainly something to monitor. And then Scotty Scheffler has gone consecutive starts without a top 10 since finishing tied for 20th in his bid for 3 straight victories, obviously here at the PGA Tour. I mean, at the Players. And so both of those golfers that you would feel like have obviously the most pressure, the most attention, they're obviously the most popular golfers on tour. They are not exactly coming in with like the best resume in order to win this week.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, it's amazing how these guys go from, the top of their game to,
and Scheffler's still the top.
Oh, he totally is. Absolutely. And I did see where McIlroy got hurt in the gym. That's where he hurt his back. I guess these guys are
You understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can't swing. I mean, there's no way you can do any of that. But...
You have to swing the other way so you stretch the other side of your back.
That's right. It's symmetrical, man. It's it's symmetrical.
I don't think that's the case. So, all right, like a Tony Finau, he's going to be in your average.
He's a
category,
mid.
Like mid. How about mid? Yeah. not mid in the way the kids say it today. That's terrible. Forget mid.
I
It ain't
get what you're
sus
saying,
either.
Thomas.
It's not mid.
Is
It's not
Victor a
sus.
top tier?
Yes,
I would think Victor's a top tier.
Yeah. Ricky Fowler's in the middle tier.
He used to be on top.
Yeah,
Right.
He used to
he's
be on top, but
downgraded
he's
a
probably
tier.
a middle tier.
All right, so
type
we'll
guy.
have the conversation and
What the tiers are.
reconvene tomorrow with our
Yeah,
picks. I don't know what's happening. I like it. It's subjective. We'll leave it at that. All right, so we are live here at Trucks on 10. We'll be back with more when it comes to Lawrence Lane on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 10 to Next on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you.
I'm Josh Scobie.
Scobie sweeps the leg, 59 yards away.
On 1010XL.
He's got it. Jacksonville wins.
The Players, one of the biggest events on the PGA Tour, is right here in our backyard. How much do you know about the tournament? Keegan Bradley made a hole-in-one on number 13 with a 7-iron from 153 yards last year, his second ace of the season, and it was the 13th ace on the 13th hole at TPC Sawgrass in Players Championship history. Sawgrass Asset Management, specializing in high-quality growth stock and fixed income portfolios for institutional and high-net-worth investors. A Jacksonville company proud to be involved in the community.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Covered by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
Fish know where to hide. Captain Kevin knows how to find them.
That's a big one.
Listen for the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee in Folkestone. Man, was I impressed. You have to see these handcrafted cabins. But act fast. On this 1,000-acre farm, there will only be 250 cabins. Each phase has jumped in value, so come get your lot and lock in your equity. Enjoy living in harmony with nature, going to the grocery store in your own backyard, and connecting with people grounded in food and purpose. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
The Golf Club of Southampton is gearing up for brand new greens and a lot more. And now's your chance to save on membership before the fee increase. Take advantage of $1,000 savings if you join before the work starts in late April and before the initiation fee goes up. It's a great deal, plus $500 additionally in Pro Shop credit. Don't miss out. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Become a member now and save big. The course is in great shape, so head on out to the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and get on the tee.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Awaken 180. Tonight, Players Week kicks off on 17 with the annual Military Appreciation Concert headlined by Ludacris. And last year's Players champion Rory McIlroy's status is still cloudy for this weekend after he withdrew from the Arnold Palmer Invitational. McIlroy claims his back injury is more stubborn than he thought, and he plans to get to the course on Wednesday. It's 86 degrees at 3:03. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Live here at the Players Championship, trucks on 10 come by and say hello like so many people are. I am over here just cracking the whip.
Do you hand those to me so I don't make the noise when we come
Yes.
on? Okay. I'm catching on.
When we're on remote, yes, the microphones obviously make more noise because they're attached to our headsets versus the stand-up microphones that we have in the studio. And so, yes, I encourage us to put them on before the segment starts and take them off after the segment ends. But, you know, everyone does it differently.
I'm a work in progress.
But the fact that you're paying
we've
attention,
come far.
We've come a long way. The fact that you're paying attention is a great sign.
How about that?
That means you care and you want to get better.
No doubt.
All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane.
Opened up by
Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
All right, tonight, top 25 matchup in college baseball. Number 23, Florida, plays host to number 20, FSU in Gainesville.
Oh, okay.
First pitch, 6:30. You can actually hear the game starting at 7, so you just missed the first 30 minutes. But you can hear that on 1010 a.m. and the AM stream. Like I said, beginning at 7 o'clock following the Sporting Jack Soccer Hour. The Gators are coming off of a rough weekend, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I saw that. Almost
Florida
swept.
Florida lost 2 out of 3 to High Point.
Oh.
Not an SEC.
North Carolina?
Yep. Not an SEC school. That would be High Point.
And it took something a little crazy at the end.
And in the third game, after a long weather delay, Florida had to walk it off with a bunch of walks. And so, yeah, not ideal for the Gators.
They won by walks?
Walk it off.
Yeah.
Walk
Do they call it walk it off?
Walk
like you load the bases and you walk, it's a walk it off?
Walk it off, yeah. Technically,
everything, if you win with,
walk off, but yeah. And so then the Noles have only lost 2 games all season. That was back in that tournament a couple weeks ago. And so the Noles come to Gainesville after sweeping Northern Kentucky. But the reason, obviously, I bring this up, this is one of 3 matchups between these 2 teams this season. The next time they play will be in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
That's always a good time.
Yeah,
so exciting, that one. And then I'm going to prepare y'all now 3 days in advance. On Friday at 1 p.m., Florida will play its first game in the SEC men's basketball tournament.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Our show starts at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So I will be watching
Pretty
Florida.
stressed.
Yes.
Or
very
not,
stressed.
depending
Maybe not
on how it's
stressed,
looking
but
by two.
But I'll be very intensely watching that and paying attention to all the golf out here. It'll be a multitasking
Will it be on your phone?
day.
Like, how are we going to pay attention?
Yeah.
How are we going to pay attention?
I have options.
Lauren
I can
has
do my
many
laptop,
options.
or I can do the iPhone.
Okay, cool.
We also have iPads. There's
ways.
technology.
There's ways.
But what's interesting is when it comes to the SEC tournament bracket, Florida could play Kentucky for a third time.
I saw that.
Okay.
Because of how it's laid out. So I'm hoping that Kentucky loses before Florida. Kentucky will start SEC play tomorrow. But
who worries you the most, if anybody, in the SEC to beat Florida?
I would say even though Florida beat Alabama handily that time, the game when we went to it in Gainesville, Alabama has such a fast-paced style, and so they're a dangerous team. But there's no team this year like there was last year that's just as good as Florida, like an Auburn, a Tennessee last year, because Florida handled business
in the
against
SEC.
Tennessee. Yeah,
in the SEC, right.
Yeah, and then I saw earlier today that one of the Duke players has an injury.
I saw that he's out for the tournament.
He's out
right?
for a brief period of time. They didn't say the full season.
Okay.
And
what is Alabama going to do without Bediaka?
Where is he allowed to play for another injunction?
All of a sudden, they'll be like, oh, he's playing for the tournament.
Right, exactly. All right, speaking of baseball, last night World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, that was too scary. I was stressed.
USA won 5-3.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But it ended late.
Stressful.
Yeah.
It was late, and they ended up they were up 5-0. Then it was 5-3, and they had runners on first and second, 1 out, and it was just too much for me. I was very stressed in that, but also it's just a little frustrating because it's like you have so many hitters on USA and they just can't. It takes them until like 5 innings to get going. This hasn't been every game so far in the World Baseball Classic. It takes a while for the hitters to really get going. I guess you could say the negative is it takes a while. The positive is because they are so deep when it comes to bats that the teams just get wear down, like worn down. By the time the pitchers come in for the 5th, 6th inning, because most of these guys are not pitching a ton anyways. Like the USA guys usually are around like 40 pitches, something like that. Maybe some are hitting in the 60s if you really want to push it. So it's not like they're pitching like full games. And so when you kind of get into their bullpens and stuff, the batters are just too good for the U.S. So later in games, it ends up working out. But
it's kind of reminiscent of the hockey.
It reminded me a lot of that
USA
because,
hockey.
and especially early on too, when it was when you could barely beat Denmark, or it felt like you were barely beating Denmark early on. In USA hockey, it feels similar to that. But I mentioned yesterday, the USA was 1-3 against Mexico also, so they've been kind of that the sore spot for the USA, and they were able to pull that out. But you watch guys like Paul Skeens, and he's just so fun. He's just incredible what he can do on the mound, and those are the guys that you love to have. And Frank Frangie gets to watch Paul Skeens all the time, so he's very jealous of that.
Yeah, he's insane.
So tonight, Italy versus the United States. That first pitch is at 9 p.m.
Okay, so it's like, does Mexico have a ton of Major League Baseball players or not?
They have some.
They've a bunch?
Yeah.
They do? Okay.
Okay, so let me explain this to you, too. Because if some people, I suppose, don't exactly follow along. You don't necessarily have to be from the country to play for that country. So there are American players that play for lots of other teams.
Right.
But for instance, like Mexico has Randy Arozarena. Randy Arozarena grew up in Cuba, but he deflected to Mexico. He actually took a boat in order to escape escape Cuba to get to Mexico.
Yeah.
So obviously, he's going to play for Mexico. But I'm sure, Taylor, you saw that there was bad beef between Randy Arozarena and the big dumper.
Oh, yeah.
Cal Raleigh.
Well, they were kind of messing with each other.
Okay.
And he goes to handshake, and then Big Dumper was like, I don't want to handshake with you. Like, we're on different teams right now.
Wow.
What are we doing? It is, and that's when it comes to, you talk about how it's similar with what just happened in the Olympics. Like, a lot of these guys play together, but then in this moment, you're against each other. You're rivals in this moment. So it is kind of, it's interesting with that. The guy that actually, he homered twice last night, Duran, plays for the Boston Red Sox. And both times, you were just like, okay, that ball's gone. He launched the one to right field, and immediately I went, oh no, this is not good. But yeah, so hopefully they start getting bats going a little bit earlier, because you're going to need to do that moving forward.
I love this headline. Randy Arozarena rips Cal Raleigh in multiple languages in trending video after viral handshake snub.
Nice.
So spitting it out in English and Spanish, and who knows what else. All right, more to do on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels live from Trucks on 10 at the Players Championship, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group. It's Jacksonville's Super Bowl of golf. If you can't make it to the Players, let 1010XL bring the players to you with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by
Purple Heart Pools,
Universal Roof and Contracting,
and Kuhn Flowers.
Look out, Jacksonville. Termite swarms are active right now, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock. They silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Lauren Brooks here. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix it with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world #1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. At South State, they believe strong relationships build strong businesses. That's why they take the time to understand your goals, challenges, and vision so they can provide solutions tailored to your needs, like they've done for me for years. South State has always been there for our business and our charity. With a team you can trust and a commitment to personalized service, South State Bank is here to be more than your bank. They're your partner in business. Visit southstatebank.com. South State Bank, member FDIC.
If you missed it, get it on demand.
And you send those out on the line.
Find your 1010XL favorites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com. Channel 5. Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Ace Carline here for Atlantic Infinity, and yes, I'm still loving my new QX60. Right now, you can lease one or lock in just 1.9% financing for 60 months, and every new Infinity comes with the Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's over $7,000 in added value. That's one of many reasons why I bought mine there. No pressure, no games, just a great experience. Make your next ride an Infinity from Atlantic Infinity. Visit AtlanticInfinity.com or the showroom near Atlantic and St. John's Bluff.
The Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach is better than ever. Come experience our new renovated spaces, including an expanded wellness center with upgraded state-of-the-art equipment, recovery solutions, brand new locker rooms, and the Horsell Center for Health and Well-Being, all designed to help you feel your best. And now you can join with no joining fee. Plus, enjoy your 4th month free. There's no place like this place. And you'll love what's new. Visit the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
Gold and silver prices are near all-time highs. If you have old jewelry just laying around, Estates Roadshow wants to buy it. Gold and silver, old rings, chains, even broken jewelry. Don't wait. Cash in while gold and silver are hot. The Estates Roadshow is coming back to the First Coast March 16th through the 20th in St. Augustine at World Golf Renaissance and in Palm Coast at the Holiday Inn Express. For more info, visit estatesroadshow.com or follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook to see all upcoming local events and locations.
I'm Frank Frangie. Life-changing is an understatement for the 180 I've seen with my daughter Amber. She's now lost over 100 pounds with Awaken 180 in just 9 months. A true 180. Not just on the scale either, in her energy, her confidence, the way she lives. And what I love about Awaken 180 is we knew it would work. It wasn't a hope. It wasn't a guess that maybe it'll work. Amber started the programming knowing this was going to be her solution. Now, you've heard stories from our hosts and clients and probably people you know personally who've reclaimed their life thanks to Awaken 180. It works for the person who needs to lose 25 pounds. It worked for Matt Hayes, who wanted to lose 40. It worked for Hacker, who's lost more than 120 pounds. And it's worked for Amber, who's well over 100. That's why I believe in it. Whatever your scale number is, call the number that will work for you. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. Once again, that number is 844-346-1800 or you can reach them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Look, I can see your face in the Parisian paintings. The Mona Lisa, I can hear your voice in the streets and the TV stations.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters. We are live here at Trucks on 10, and we have a very special guest. Tom McManus had breakfast with Tom Coughlin. The one and only Taylor Dahl met Kay Adams out on the golf course, and so I had to bring in Frank Frangie, so I had at least some celebrity in my life.
Boy, you dropped down, okay? You went big leagues, rookie leagues.
Okay?
Not
at all.
Drop down.
This is the voice of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, come on.
And we were talking about Paul Skeens, so of course we had to get your expertise.
I watched last night. He was good last night.
He's so really good.
I watched, Taylor, you had asked me if I watched. I watched the 5 inning or the 4 innings he pitched. Shouldn't have allowed a hit.
I know.
The one hit was after the error, so he was really good. I like the World Baseball
7 Ks
Classic.
it was?
Yeah. I like the World Baseball. I mean, I'm a baseball nut.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like it.
It's grown a ton. The first time I ever even remember it is when we were on that spring training tour many years ago now.
Remember that when Lauren knows the story, it was Martineau, Hayes, Carline, Lauren, and I on for our show, and the Dominican Republic was playing Puerto Rico. We were at a place called Duffy's in South Florida. It was packed. You would have thought you were in Atlanta for an Alabama-Georgia game. I mean, it was incredible, and the place was going crazy. And man,
very lively.
Yeah, yes, it was a lot of fun. No, I'll watch it now. Tonight, the U.S. plays at 9
p.m.
There's a federal law that when you're old, you have to go to bed. so I don't know how much of it I'll see, but I'm going to start watching tonight.
It's cool too, just watching it. Obviously, even through the TV, you can see the environment there, and it would be such a cool thing to go to.
Well, the cool thing that I really do think is cool that they're trying to win.
Oh
Before I don't want to play that. I got to get ready. I don't. Well, they're all trying to, for whatever. Maybe
hockey.
The hockey. I think that had a lot to do with it, Tom.
I think so.
I think the fact that the hockey team won, we all lost our mind.
Yeah.
Those guys are into. They got all the good players. I mean, they're all playing.
Yeah.
I mean, Judge is playing, and Schwarber's playing, and
Harper.
Bryce Harper's playing. So it's been kind of fun to watch.
All right, let's get to the Jaguars. No Travis Etienne, no Devin Lloyd, obviously on the 2026 roster. Buster Brown was retained and will be here for the next 3 years. I feel like when you look at the production of those two guys, it feels like such a loss for Jags fans, and I understand that. But I think that this regime feels like they can maybe even upgrade those positions.
Well, I'll say this. I think they knew they weren't keeping either guy.
Yeah.
You know, Travis got $13 million. I didn't think he'd get that. So good for him. I'm glad he went to the NFC so I can root for him. I said that on my show yesterday. I think they knew both those guys were going to be gone. I do believe will linebacker's a spot that they're going to go have to try and find someone. They've got Ventrell Miller still there, who's explosive as heck, Tom. He runs 1,000 miles an hour, but doesn't cover. Jack Kaiser, the rookie from Notre Dame, has really been more of a Mike line. He's played behind Foye. And they got this guy, Branson Combs, who they really like. But I would think a veteran there. And my guess is you bring in a veteran, at least to go in the running back room. Right now it's young, man. It's Bashal Tutin's a young guy, and Quinn Allen's a young guy, and I think DJ Dallas is back, but he's a kind of young guy. So I would think you'd see at some point, whether it's this wave of free agency or after the draft or before the next wave, that probably veterans at both those spots. Even if it's not to start, a veteran presence in those two rooms.
Did they know, Frank, do you think, with Devin Lloyd, that he just wasn't one of their guys?
Yeah,
I mean, they inherited him, right?
No, look, he had a great year, Tom.
He did. Phenomenal.
Devin had a great year, and he earned every dollar of that free agent contract he got. He had a bunch of interceptions. He was a really good player for them. But I think if you asked him privately, there were certainly some flaws in his game, like everybody's game. I don't know that he was great. They play a lot of zone, as you know, but I don't think he's a great cover guy when you get him matched up a little bit. So he's not a perfect player. But no, I don't think with either Travis or Devin Lloyd they had any ill feelings for any of them. They just are expensive. Look, they're way over the cap already. Yeah, you have to decide who you're going to pay. They needed to pay Monteric Brown now. I mean, you need cornerbacks, and he actually had a pretty good year for him. And
he did.
That's the one I said this on the air. That one, I did not realize he would be as sought. But in the last week before free agency, the word got out. He was getting 10, 12 million, and so they needed to keep him. I'll tell you a story. When they traded Tyson Campbell, I was kind of surprised, but then I got the word was out that they were on the cusp of starting to alternate Tyson and Monteric. They were actually going to like platoon them every other series or whatever. And I thought,
but you don't see very often.
No, and it was correct. And it wasn't that they didn't think Tyson was good. It's that they thought Monteric pretty damn good player. So they liked him. So I'm glad they kept him. I don't think they'll do a lot in free agency. I think I do think they'll do something. I think you'll see a will linebacker at some point, and I think you gotta, even if you draft a running back, that's still another young guy. So I would think you probably want to bring a veteran into the running back room at some point.
If you're talking about the interior defensive line, we've talked a ton about that and what it looks like. Eric Armstead, when he was healthy last year, was playing good football. So what are your thoughts there? You haven't really seen anything enough from Mason Smith at this point. What's the thought process of going into this season with that
Mason
interior?
Smith hadn't been very good.
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is for a second-round pick, he hadn't been. He was a healthy scratch a bunch.
Yeah.
Both years. So he's got to be better. I love this guy, Matt Dickerson. He's great against the run. He's a big three technique. He's bigger. He's not a big two gap shade guy. Devon Hamilton played great last year.
Yeah, he did.
So Dickerson better against. He started like 4 games because he's better against the run than Armstead. They got to find a guy there. Yeah. They got to find a three technique, and they know that. I would say, if you hadn't asked me to bet my money what they're taking at 56, which is a dumb bet because who knows what they're going to do in free agency and how the draft is going to fall.
And even if they're picking at 56.
Right. But if you did have to bet, three technique would be it. That's the position they got to find.
Yeah.
Frank, is Eric Armstead on the team this year?
I think so. He was pretty good. Now he's a better pass rusher than he is a run stuffer, which is why Dickerson kind of went past him in run defense. But yeah, I think so. I think Eric's going to be on the team in these latter years. Again, he was good in the locker room. For the guy that everybody hated before the season, he was pretty good. He wasn't great. Yeah. He's in his 30s, but as a pass rushing 3 technique, he's pretty good. I think
he's the best one on the team.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's what they didn't get, Tommy. You know this. Yep. They didn't get pushed in the middle.
Right.
People say, well, did Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker not have great years? Well, the reality is, if you can chip and double everybody because you're not having to work very hard to block the interior pass rush, then it's harder for the exterior guys. So they got to get better there.
If you read the internet, Brian Thomas Jr. is getting traded away left and right. I think he's on the team next year. I think he should be. Your thoughts?
He's not on the block. I can tell you that. Now, you listen. Yeah, everything's got a price. Everything's got a price. If someone came and blew him away, yeah, maybe. But I do not think they're actively trying to trade Brian Thomas Jr. And I hope he's on the team. He still has something other people don't have. He still runs faster than most people run. He still is explosive. You still got to have – I really love Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington and what Brenton Strange gives you, but none of those guys are running by everybody.
Right.
He still is the guy that can run by people.
Frank, were we in the run of – or not in the run of, but did we make a run for Max Crosby?
You know, all I know is like you, Tom, what I read. I don't know the answer.
So here's my thinking. If that's true, why wouldn't you go – spend money on a Trey Hendrickson? You don't have to give up any picks.
Well, that's
because you got to pay max if you get him.
And that's the question. It's a good question. I don't know the answer to, but I hear you. If you were trying to get Max Crosby, and again, I don't know. I'm not going to misrepresent it. I don't know if they were or not.
Yeah.
But if they were trying to get Max Crosby, that means they're pretty serious about finding an edge.
Right.
And if you're serious about finding an edge, would you kick the tires on Trey Hendrickson? And maybe they have. Trey lives here, by the way. He lives in Jacksonville.
He'll probably be out here at the Players' Championship.
He lives in Jacksonville. But here's what's interesting. Trey Hendrickson's a good player. But he's available, and I don't get the sense there's a lot of buzz. I don't get the sense 4 or 5 teams. Yeah, like we all kind of knew that the Saints, the Panthers, and who's the other team? The 3 teams that were fighting for Devin Lloyd. You all kind of knew that was going on. You kind of knew that ETN might head to the Saints. I haven't heard much of a buzz about Hendrickson.
Well, look, Jalen Phillips gets $30 million a year. What is Hendrickson? I mean,
that's what I heard.
What is he sitting about?
And for all we know, Tom, maybe his agent has gone so high, that people are just going to listen. You can't do that. But I don't know. But back to your question, if indeed you were in play for Max Crosby, if those stories are true,
right,
then you would think they'd be in play for another edge.
Yeah, I heard reports today that they were asking for 30 for Hendrickson, and part of that, I don't know if people want to pay that because he's a little bit older, coming off an injury. He's had multiple injuries the last few years, so there's probably some hesitation. I think they're going to have to come down for that a little bit. Frank, right now it's way too early because you're still finishing free agency. You've got the draft coming up. There's a lot of things that you're still kind of evaluating, including draft picks from last year. But at this point, if you were to guess if we're talking about the offensive line, would you project that it's a Van Lanen and Ezra, obviously Hainsey, and then Makari again and Anton? Is that what you would think the 5 would be week 1?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Barring an injury, that's what it'll be. There's no doubt in my mind. Yes, I think it'll be exactly what you just said. I think it's going to be Cole's won that left tackle job. Yep. I thought they might flip him because Anton Harrison's a really good athlete.
Yep.
But what I'm hearing is that's probably not where they're headed. And so I think
you paid Cole to be your left tackle.
And by the way, he really impressed people.
Oh yeah,
he really impressed. The interesting.
Tom had him as the MVP of the season.
I get it. No,
he was fantastic.
Played every spot.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I think the real interesting question is Walker Little because he's a luxury because I don't think he's going to start. Yeah, he went and played right guard. He was pretty good.
I thought he was
we
good.
talked about that.
Yes.
So that's a good battle to have
Absolutely.
between McCary and Walker.
Yeah, well, I think McCary would start, but you're right, someone to push him. But now you got a guy that can back up both tackles and be good at both. You got a guy that can back up your guards. So I think what they're dealing with is, okay, it's a luxury, but it's pretty good. People get hurt. It's football.
Oh, you know.
And he has a good attitude. He's not going to sulk that he's not starting.
He's been fine. So I kind of hope he's on the team. What do you get? A third, a fourth, a fifth, maybe? Maybe a fifth. Yeah. So if a fifth's what you're getting,
if one of your tackles goes down, Trevor Lawrence has a familiarity with him.
Yeah.
Right guard. I thought he was a mauler. He was mauling people.
And they got young people. They like Lawrence. They like Wyatt Milam. They like some. But I agree with you, Tom. He was very good at right guard.
Yep.
Yeah, Jonah Monheim obviously in the mix as well. Yeah. All right. So we don't have 2 hours with you like you'll have with Hayes, but quickly, Florida men's basketball. and Florida football, the quarterback battle I want to ask you about. But we'll start with Florida men's basketball. Are you nervous if Florida were to face Kentucky for a third time on Friday?
I'm not now.
Okay.
I think Florida is really good. Now listen, in the one thing about all levels of football and the NCAA tournament basketball, it's tragic. One bad game and you go home. There's not 4 out of 7. It's not the World Series. Right. It's not one bad game. See you later.
Yeah, it's the NFL.
It's tragic. Yeah. All areas, all levels of football and the NCAA basketball tournament. So, but I think they're really good. I haven't watched Michigan, but I've watched Duke and Arizona. They're as good as those. I think they have a really, really good, like a really good team. So no, I don't think anyone in the SEC can beat them.
And you shouldn't really be that upset if you lose in the SEC tournament. That's obviously not the be all end all. I think this team wants to win it.
But I'll say this: they've won 3 because a lot of people say, "Would you like to lose and have some rest?" And they've won 3 national championships. All 3 times they won the SEC's championship first. So
I want to win.
Yes,
and
play.
Keep playing.
So, but no, to your question, Lauren, I think they're really good. I think they are better than I thought they'd be because they figured out the shooting thing. The people don't realize, everyone knows they're big and physical up front. That's been well. Sure. The guards are lightning quick. They're like wide receivers. Yeah. The guards go by everybody. I mean, I'm telling you, they have a really good team.
And they've limited turnovers. That was part of the issue, whether it was Xavier Lee or Alex Condon in certain games, too. All right, Florida football, our own Jacob Simons was down at practice last week, and he told me that Tramel Jones Jr. has a better throwing motion than Aaron Philo. But Aaron Philo, as we all know, obviously knows the system better because of his relationship with Buster Faulkner. What are you hearing about the
I heard that Philo just had the practice end all practices in the last day or two, that he's real. They're both pretty good. I think Philo's going to be the quarterback. Now, we like Tramel. We're kind of biased to him here because he's from here, and he's been in the studio. He's been on the air. But I think Philo's going to be the quarterback. Apparently, they both had some really good days. But I will tell you,
they're throwing to some really good guys.
Yeah, I will tell you. The thing is, I have no idea how good their team's going to be. I don't know the good thing. They've lost for a lot of years now. They've got 2 quarterbacks who both are talented but haven't played. Usually the quarterbacks that are winning these days are 23 years old, and they got 2 quarterbacks that are 19 or 20. So I don't know how good they're going to be. But I'll say this, and we had someone on the show. Whatever he's done, the Gator Nation, which Lauren, you and I are part of it, are a bunch of sad sacks. We're just upset about everything.
We're a basketball school.
We just hated everybody and mad about everything, and didn't get Kiffin, and mad at the AD, and mad at the boosters, and mad at our brothers, and mad. Whatever he's done, everybody's excited about the guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whether we'll see if he starts out 1-4, it was false, Yeah. But everybody's everybody's jacked about this.
He's
guy.
not afraid to say, "I'm not Billy Napier," and I think that has won a lot of people over.
If you notice this too, he does every interview.
Yeah.
If some guy's walking down the street, just got out of middle school, and says, "Hey, John, can you do?" Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. I mean, and I told him that when I interviewed him. Most coaches, they're not too good for it, but they stay busy. And I'm not going to do that one. I'll do the national one because it's Scott Van Pelt. And I don't have time for this one, but I might do this one because I knew the guy back when I was at Arizona. This guy, he's doing all of them. I mean, he is. I mean, sounds like he's a really, really, really good guy. Did you see the Italy conversation?
No.
He's supposed to. He goes. I mean, he was supposed to. They're having their 15th anniversary, so he's taking his wife to Italy. And he just got in front of me. I ain't going to Italy. I got too much blank to do. I mean, just like he's talking to his next door neighbor, right? And he said, and they had to beep it out. I got too much blank to do. So.
He had Spurrier and Bob Stoops at practice today.
So I hope he's a good coach, Lauren. I do think he's boy. If he's a good coach, they'll love him the way people love Bowden. Mm-hmm. He'll be that if he's a good coach. Now, if he's not a good coach, they'll fire him and get the next guy.
Right.
For sure. By the way, I was one of the very few people that didn't really want Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
He just seems to be a bit of a train wreck in his personal life, and that can sometimes bleed to the coaching.
I'll say this: he's a really good coach, and he's probably going to win championships. But you are going to deal with the drama. But I think he's a good coach. But I did want him. But you're going to deal with. He is a diva on steroids, boy. I mean, he's at the nth degree, but he's a good. So we'll see.
He doesn't try to hide that at all. Either.
No, he doesn't. You know what's happened with him now? I'll tell you what's happened. Kiffin, because he was a little bit of a loose cannon, and people, he's got to Tennessee, then left, and then got fired on the tarmac at USC, and then the Raiders. Al Davis hated him after, or Mark Davis, whoever it was, hated him after a while, and so he had to go to FAU. He's got a chip on his shoulder because he's never been the star. Mm-hmm. Well, all of a sudden, he had to take the Ole Miss job. That wasn't the Alabama, LSU, Florida. Yeah. It was the Ole Miss job. So he has to take the Ole Miss job. Well, it turns out he's great. He's great at the portal, and they're really good. Well, now he's the king of the prom. And he is enjoying every man. I don't blame him.
And yoga
for that.
studios.
Yeah,
apparently as well.
But you know what I mean? He now is the king, and he's enjoying. Hell, I probably would too. He's enjoying every minute. He's enjoying every minute of people telling him how great he is.
Yeah,
So I think
he looks like he self-tans to me. So
there's no question.
You know what I mean?
I would bet everything I got he's in the tanning booth. There's no question.
No doubt.
He's going right to the tanning
They
booth.
have lotion now. for
Yeah,
that,
right.
y'all.
Spray tan.
Yeah,
Just turn around,
yeah,
coach.
and he's telling the 18-year-old girl who's on her way to prom, you can leave. I'm going in here now. You can come back when I'm gone.
Hey, bring it up.
Yeah, right.
Might be
At
joining
least,
them.
at least he's not faking his Cajun accent.
That's true. That is true.
That is
Valid
well,
point.
and that helps him too. He's following a guy, but he hated.
Yeah.
So
Right.
All right. Well, congrats on the hole-in-one.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got to hear
Frank,
the story
all right.
yesterday,
Yeah.
and
I
I think you enjoyed that one as well.
I did enjoy it, and I like I told you, I got to watch the Florida-Kentucky game the next day because it's the first time I've ever.
The game was at 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah,
Tom.
I get it.
You watched it.
I pretty much, not pretty much, I passed out. Right when the Florida game was starting, I woke up about 9, realized it was over at 6. I'd probably missed it.
The statute of limitations is already passed.
my
It's
God,
fine.
it was tough.
Beers and gummies don't go together, Frank. You got to watch that stuff, buddy.
Oh, goodness. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. There he goes, Frank Frangie, obviously, who will be on the air for the next couple hours with Hayes Carline, but we've got more to do on the other side, so don't go anywhere at 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels.
Brought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. Giving Jaguars fans what you need to stay on top of your team every day. 1010XL. Home of the Jaguars.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Football may be over, but with Hard Rock Bet, there's always something to bet on every night. Hoops, hockey, and so much more. This is Joe C. Don't forget, new signups can double their winnings on their first 10 bets with a max of $50 bets. That's right, your winnings are doubled on your first 10 bets. If you would have won $100, your bet would make $200. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today. It's all waiting for you. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Backed by
Morgan & Morgan.
Homeowners, you taking a look at your lawn yet? Let me guess, you're looking at your lawn wondering what to do after a historically cold season. Well, if you want your lawn to bounce back quick, you gotta call topdressing.com. Nobody else can do what they do. Their proprietary process. I've never seen anything like it, and neither will your neighbors. They will have your lawn looking like a golf course. Nobody else can do it. They're no secret now, so get ahead of it. Call for a free estimate. Be the envy of your neighbors. Top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
If your lawn took a beating this winter, listen up. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. They've just started the first of 3 rounds of premium granular fertilizer. No cheap liquid fertilizer here. Custom blended for Northeast Florida lawns. Their certified technicians apply slow-release nutrients. Rebuild your lawn thick, strong, and green over time. Plus, they protect your home from pests and termites. Call Julington Creek Pest Control today. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Did you know your roof ages from the inside out? By the time you see a leak, damage already exists beneath the shingles. Sun exposure, humidity, and seasonal storms slowly weaken roofing materials over time. If your roof is 15 years old or more, then now's the time to start planning, not reacting. At Endless Summer Roofing, we provide professional inspections and clear guidance so you can make informed decisions. Visit endlesssummerroofing.com to schedule a free inspection. Endless Summer Roofing, protecting your home from Florida's endless summer.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit hollispools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Leon Serza here, your lemon pepper guy. You know Wingstop always delivers. And I'm not talking about their cook-to-order, hand-sauced and tossed chicken sandwich in your choice of 12 mouth-watering flavors. I'm not talking about the house-made ranch. So good, nobody will blame you if you double dip. I'm talking about Wingstop that delivers straight to your door. And did you know they're open until 1 a.m.? So visit wingstop.com or use the app to get flavors delivered right to your door late night only at Wingstop.
Can't stop. Wingstop. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's Golden Moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
I have a golden moment when we had Zach Goodall on last week, Lauren. First of all, we went to talk about the golden moment, and he thought it was Todd Golden's moment.
I love that.
I was like, honestly, that's what we should have just ran with that, as the Gators are just pretty much dominating everybody. But we were just talking a little bit of Gator football, and I wanted to read this quote that was posted today from John Sumbrall. He said, "I want to win right now, like today. I'm a little uncomfortable because we're so far away from where I want us to be that not going to lie, I'm a little on edge." I love that. I love the honesty. We talk about how Liam Cohen was the same way when he got here, talking about how far he felt like the roster was, and you needed to build, raise the floor, and how much they wanted to bring everything kind of back down with Trevor and start with mechanics and footwork and all of that stuff. So I do think that it's important for a coach to recognize realistically where they are, rather than coming in and being like, this roster's great, we're going to win 10 games. Like it's good to have a coach that realizes, that feels like they're going to put in the work to make the team better. And so I think that's when you talk about, Frank was just saying how much all of a sudden people love John Sumrall and what he's doing there. That's a small piece of a reason of why people have really attached themselves. Yeah.
I can't stand coach speak from hearing coaches speak, and they're just, they don't tell the truth. You know what I mean? They're just,
be honest,
don't even I know the NFL makes them do it. And I may be in the minority here, but I don't want to hear from the coordinators. I don't care what they have to say. Just show me. Show me that you're stopping them. Show me that you're scoring points. I don't think they really enjoy it. I think it's good for them, because if they do become a head coach, so it's good training. Yeah. But to me, I'm like, I don't want to. Sometimes I don't even want to hear from the head coach. I can see it on the field. Well, I don't want to hear coach speak.
Here's something you will want to hear. Adam Schefter tweeted out a little bit ago that despite speculation, the Jaguars have not been interested in trading Brian Thomas Jr. I feel like those of us that cover the team closely, we understand that the offense is not this offense. It's not as successful last season without Brian Thomas Jr. Yes, Jacoby Myers came, and all of a sudden, magically, everyone started catching the football. But Jacoby Myers and Brian Thomas Jr. and Parker Washington all work together to create those route trees that make Liam Cohen's offense.
Well, Jacoby allowed BT to go outside and stay outside and not have to worry about, the inside
across
stuff.
The middle,
and Jacoby, is a guy that you can count on to do that consistently. So in your point, it's good for the offense that Brian Thomas, unless you replace that, which again, like Frank was saying earlier, he's the fastest guy on your offense.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
trying to replace him without a first-round pick.
Yeah, it's hard, and he can look. I mean, I do think him and Trevor have to work on their chemistry on that deep ball a little bit more. The timing of it, not the the placement. It's more when you throw that darn thing, instead of. But I think Trevor's gotten better at that, and like I've said, and we've said it together. In the looking at Brian Thomas's game, just a little more sense of urgency off the ball. I know Jimmy Smith has been saying that all throughout the year, but it's true. You go watch it, I'd like to see. Now, granted, he'll block hard, so it's not like he's not, aggressive or anything like that. But when he's running his routes, he's got to make it look like I'm going deep every time. So they're scared to death. I don't know if anybody. I know they're scared because they know he can beat them.
Yeah.
But he hasn't it's not like he's this incredible deep threat. He can be, and if the timing You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like the fact that he's staying outside. Jacoby allowed that to happen, but you need Brian Thomas. You need a guy like that to run this
Well,
offense.
and it almost feels like when we talked to Jimmy Smith and he mentioned that, and it just coming off that, just that one thing may be the timing that could, the way it gets fixed. Just that quicker burst right there coming off, you're being set, that burst quick. Maybe that's the split second of timing that those two need. And so if that's something they work on this offseason, and I'm hoping that is, because it's if Jimmy Smith's saying it, then it has to be noticeable in the sense of, just a little bit more quickness. And that's something that when you played the position, you probably notice a lot more than somebody else just watching the game. But that right there, there's the timing.
Just think of the dagger it is to a defense when you hit one deep. You know what I mean? And then it just sends shockwaves through that secondary. The defensive coordinator's freaking out. They're like, oh, my gosh. We just got burned for a big time. We haven't seen that a lot of Brian Thomas. We did in year one. Last year, not as much. Bless you. Right, more with Mac Jones. But hopefully, they get that timing down, and that becomes a real thing. Because, man, if you add that to the offense, now, that's a nice weapon, and he is a good weapon. But we got to see more completions down the field with him.
Yeah, by the way that Trevor used his legs last year. Now you're worrying about a quarterback that can run. You're worried about Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, Brenton Strange, Tootin, and then you add BTJ deep, and that's just so much that a defense has to think and worry about. And then you are, like, when you have a quarterback that can use his legs the way that Trevor can, then that makes that deep ball even scarier when you have that.
There was a little pang there, as you didn't say, Travis Etienne amongst the
I know.
weapons.
I had to stop myself for a second.
It is. I was like, it's hard. By the way, I've been to training camps now for probably at least 14 years, somewhere in that I've gone to the Jaguars training camp practices. I've never seen a player as frustrated as I saw Brian Thomas Jr. This past training
he was
camp.
very frustrated.
And you've got to understand that probably did bleed into the beginning of the season. And no wonder that things just didn't click right away. Plus, with all those pre-snap penalties, we've obviously detailed those ad nauseum.
I just look, Liam has got away with his players. So I think he's going to get Brian Thomas to play at a really high level this year. And if not, well, then we know his fate. But it's too early to give up on that right now.
Totally agree. Number 7 is one of my favorite players, so I'm glad he'll stay up on the team. But speaking of that, zero, the last two guys to wear 0, not on the team the next year with Dave Davis and then Devin Lloyd.
And we talked about that when Devin swited too.
Was Ridley 0 too?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it was Ridley.
Ridley, Gabe, and then now Devin.
Don't wear 0.
Put that one in the closet.
Yeah.
Just keep it away.
Exactly. Number 1 will be up for grabs for this year.
Oh,
for sure.
yeah.
All right, one segment to go here. Live Trucks on 10, the Players Championship. Today is Tuesday. That means Military Appreciation Day. Things will get underway right around 4:30. As Miranda said earlier, there will be a little military surprise. And then, of course, Ludacris takes the stage at 5 o'clock there at the iconic Island Green. So don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
All right, Jacksonville, spring has officially arrived when the pollen's flying, the grass is growing, and your septic system starts thinking about getting your attention. Trust me, a simple pump out now can save you from a disaster that'll have the whole neighborhood holding their noses. That's why you call Duck Duck Rooter the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. Real pros, not somebody guessing with a shovel. Right now, schedule your spring septic clean and get $50 off septic tank pumping. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Hey friends, Frank Frangie here. A new year is the perfect time to make sure your car is ready for the road ahead. And nothing gives you more confidence than a fresh set of tires from my friends at Big Chief Tire. I've trusted them for years. They take great care of me, and they'll take great care of you. Start 2026 with a smoother, safer ride. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today and let Big Chief get you rolling.
Hello, Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
This is Paige, owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. People ask me all the time, what's healthy? And that's hard because healthy is different from losing weight. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. There are a lot of foods out there that are healthy foods, but they're not going to support your weight loss. And that's what we're here to help with. We're here to help you get in the healthy foods that are going to help you lose weight. The Awaken 180 difference is our coaches. It's our team. You can find things online about weight loss, but you try them yourself and they just don't work. And that's because everyone is different. And that's what our coaches are so skilled at helping you figure out.
Thanks, Paige. Hacker here. Figuring it out, that's what I needed. And the reason I chose Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Not a med, not a diet plan. I wanted a solution. Do what I did and make a 180 with your health and weight. Schedule your Awaken 180 consultation today. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust. Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
That Morgan Wallen concert, by the way, comes up in just a couple months. Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl. I'm Lauren Brooks with you live at Trucks on 10 at the Players Championship. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters, making it all happen. Time now for today's Pest of the Day, is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online, Terminix.com. There are some bugs out here, but you know what? No bugs. No bugs at my house. No bugs at Everink Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, or ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Thanks to Terminix, by the way. I'm sure they're working overtime as all that stadium construction is underway. And all that fun stuff. But the pest of the day today, the fight that broke out last night between Mexico and United States fans there in the stands at the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, no.
Fans, just please.
Did we win?
It's one of those, I don't think anybody wins, but it's just ugly and it's not a good look. And
We're trying to have
I hate
fun.
that stuff.
It's hard to fight in stands.
I know. Look how
Because
constricted.
there's not a lot of
Experience talking.
You better get them out quick. That's all I'm saying. But wow.
Yeah,
I thought
I
you were
did
going
not
to
see
mention
that,
they
yeah.
weren't pests, but did you see the hockey fights? It was the one game. Was the last
Oh,
night? The night before?
the
Holy
Lightning
cow, did they go at it?
Sabres,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was
And
awesome.
that game ended up
102 penalty minutes in that game.
That was
8-7 was the final score. I
Yeah,
saw.
15 goals scored. It was like
I love
102 penalty minutes. At one point, there was like 4 players in one of the penalty boxes, 3 in the other. I was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
If you're at that game, you're just like cheering
That's like
the whole
slap
time.
shot.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's been lovely to be out here.
Awesome.
One of my favorite things to do to come out on the golf course is just literally to walk around, listen to the birds, look at the azaleas blooming
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah. I was actually on my walk here. I like walked really slow.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I'm just gonna take it easy. Like I'm not gonna hustle. Cause I had time. I didn't have to
Sure.
hustle to get here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you can walk slow in front of me. I'm not trying to get around here. I'll just take it easy and enjoy the sights and the grass and
It's the way to do
it's
it,
beautiful.
especially
Yeah.
these practice
Yeah, take it
rounds
easy.
Tuesday, Wednesday, all sorts of fun stuff.
good
All right,
stuff.
let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes Carline joins us now. Hayes, do you know who's going to win the 2026 Players Championship?
I'm gonna reserve my pick for another day.
Okay.
I still, there's some data that still needs to come in. There's some wind variances that I've got to get right before I can make my selection. So I have
really
some players.
Get the greens down.
Yeah, I have players that I feel good about.
All
but yeah, I'll give you guys this is what I look for. I like players that are playing the back nine first on Friday.
Okay.
Because I don't like having to play 17 at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening. It's rowdy. So my pick will be somebody that is in the opposite of that. So just to give you a little hint, but yeah, not right. But I mean, boy, it's gorgeous out here. Come try and find us if you're interested in a scavenger hunt. It's
like, where's Waldo, but where's Hayes?
Yeah, exactly. So I think I saw the Predator in one of these days. But yeah, it's awesome being out here, and we're certainly excited about it. Lee Smith, the executive director of the Players Championship, will join us, and we'll get Lee's thoughts on as we get closer, and it should be a lot of fun. So fun Frangie show coming up. We'll certainly update free agency, talk about the Jags, talk about Gators basketball, maybe a little Gators football as well. So a lot of fun stuff coming up on the Frangie show.
And we discussed it earlier. BTJ will be on the Jacksonville Jaguars roster in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that way. I don't know that it's like 100% locked in, but yeah, I mean, it seems like that's where it's trending, and so it'll be exciting to see if he can have that huge third year.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Hayes.
Thank you, guys.
We shall be listening. Yeah.
That was quick.
That was.
See?
Yes,
yeah.
I am an engineer.
You can't tell the crosstalker to be quiet with his things, is what you're saying.
These headsets cause lots of problems, that's for sure.
I would love to see Tommy be multitasking the headphones, the headsets, doing everything. You got it tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll be our engineer tomorrow.
Okay.
By the way, this is the reason
I don't know how it'll go.
This is the reason that you watch us on the live stream, because you get to see all the moving parts. We were chatting with some of our friends earlier, and they're like, I love to watch.
Yeah,
I love to watch 1010XL, even more than listen.
If you weren't watching, you didn't get to see our USA women's hockey celebration.
That was incredible. That goal was insane.
I just noticed that you changed your
the header.
headline.
Did you see it? I changed the header on my Twitter, and it's us all celebrating in that moment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which some of us look better than others.
That viral meme, I think it's Dana White.
Okay.
Dana White's reaction on the one somebody gets I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's Dana White
It's
and
probably
not
Joe
Rogan.
Rogan.
It's probably Joe Rogan.
Right.
Because I get them both confused if you listen to the show earlier. But his reaction, it's like a viral meme where he's like very shocked.
Yeah.
So every comment when I posted that was like, Tommy looks like Joe Rogan, I guess it is. I don't know.
Joe Rogan has hair.
Yeah.
No, I think he's bald too.
Is he now?
Yeah,
He
Joe's
used to have
he's
hair.
bald. He used to have hair,
Okay.
but he's
So
bald.
yeah, that makes more
he's
sense.
bald.
That's why you get them confused.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for us today. These heels are made for talking. We'll talk to you tomorrow. For Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders back at World Headquarters, I'm Lauren Brooks. Thanks again to the players for having us out here at Trucks on 10. Don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next right here at 1010XL 92.5 FM.